Martin had always found solace in photography. The hum of the shutter, the weight of the camera in his hands. It was his own form of therapy, a way to capture the world in frozen moments, away from the chaos. So, when he inherited an old film camera from his late grandfather, a photographer himself, Martin was thrilled. The camera was beautifully vintage, its leather worn and its metal cold, carrying with it the echoes of decades past. He spent his next few weekends exploring deserted locations around the city, keen to test the camera's capabilities. A friend suggested an abandoned house on the outskirts, rumored to have once belonged to a reclusive family who vanished without a trace. Though Martin didn't believe in ghosts, the thought of capturing the eerie atmosphere excited him. The house was every bit as creepy as he had hoped, with peeling wallpaper, dusty furniture covered in white sheets, and staircases that creaked ominously. It was a perfect subject. Martin spent hours adjusting the settings and angles, shooting the empty hallways, broken mirrors, and forgotten trinkets. The air inside was heavy, thick with an inexplicable chill that made him shiver despite the warmth outside. When he developed the first roll, he found what he had expected: hauntingly beautiful, albeit unsettling, photos of the decaying mansion. But as he examined them more closely, he noticed something unusual. In the background of one photo, taken in a cracked mirror, a shadowy figure seemed to be standing at the end of the hallway. Martin was certain that he had been alone. Curious, he flipped to the next few images. The same figure appeared again, this time closer. Its outline was indistinct, like a smudge or a trick of the light, but its presence was undeniable. A chill crept down his spine as he realized that in every photo, the figure was gradually moving closer to him. His heart hammered in his chest as he reached the last image in the roll, the one he didn't remember taking. The photo showed his own face, looking back through the lens, with a pair of ghostly eyes peering over his shoulder. Martin dropped the photograph, feeling as if he were suddenly submerged in ice water. The experience left him rattled, yet part of him was entranced, compelled by the mystery. Perhaps it was simply a fluke, a trick of old film and poor lighting. But in his heart, he knew something about the figure felt disturbingly real. Against his better judgment, he decided to return to the house the next weekend, hoping to confront whatever was lurking in his images. The following Saturday, he arrived at the house just as the sun was setting. With each creak of the floorboards and whisper of the wind, the house felt alive, as though it were breathing in anticipation of his arrival. Armed with his grandfather's camera, Martin snapped photo after photo, hoping to recreate the circumstances that had given him those ghostly images. It wasn't long before he began to feel a presence, an invisible weight pressing on his shoulders, an unsettling sensation of being watched. Swallowing his fear, he made his way up to the attic, where he had yet to explore. The door was stiff, swollen with age and dampness, but with a bit of effort, it groaned open. The attic was colder than the rest of the house, and the smell of mildew was overpowering. Dust motes swirled in the dim light, and the remnants of a long-forgotten life lay scattered about. Broken toys, faded family portraits, stacks of old books. As he raised the camera to his eye and snapped the first picture, he saw something in his peripheral vision, a shadow flitting just out of sight.